The person I love is gay, so on our wedding night he coldly laid down 3 rules for me. Don't talk to him, don't touch him, and stay out of his business, but I never expected that he would later break each of these rules himself. Hearing the 3 rules he set, I was so surprised I couldn't speak. Without those things, what is a marriage? The 3rd rule I could handle, but the first 2, it felt surreal. Michael noticed my reaction and said nothing further. Once he was sure I had understood, he stood up and walked into the bathroom, leaving me sitting in silence in the empty room. When he came out of the bathroom a few minutes later, water droplets were still rolling off his skin. He slipped into his suit and lay down in bed. Acting as if I wasn't even there, I slowly walked toward the bed, lay on my side, and stared at him. I reached out to touch him, but my hand stopped midair because a second condition echoed in my head. Don't touch me. I swallowed hard, slowly lowered my hand, turned my back to him, and switched off the bedside lamp. When I woke up in the morning, I was surprised to find myself in an unfamiliar room. I frowned, only then realizing that I was already married. No wonder, I thought, since I didn't wake up in my husband's arms. Husband? I turned my head to look at the other side of the bed, but he wasn't there. Then I heard the sound of running water and realized he was in the bathroom. I immediately got up, left the room, went downstairs, and walked into the kitchen. I decided to make breakfast, because he was already getting ready to go out, or was he? I wasn't sure. After all, it was Sunday and he couldn't possibly be going to work. I made pancakes with sauce, poured a glass of milk, and set everything out on the large dining table, which was big enough for 10 people. I was about to head back upstairs when I heard the sound of a door closing and knew he was coming downstairs. When he appeared on the stairs, he was wearing a black suit and a white shirt. Where was he going? He looked so formal. I thought to myself. He placed his briefcase on the sofa and began fastening his cufflinks. Good morning, I said, but he didn't acknowledge me or pretended not to hear. I bit my lip and stepped closer. Let me help you, Michael. He stayed silent and continued what he was doing. I made breakfast. I hope you like it, I said with a smile. Michael seemed to have already fastened his cufflinks. He just bowed his head, picked up his briefcase, and walked toward the door. I watched in surprise as he left. He stopped at the door, didn't turn to look at me, and simply said, I set the rules. I hope you can follow them. Then he walked out of the house. I blinked, staring blankly at the untouched food on the table. What was going on? What did he mean? I understood his personal preferences, but that didn't mean he had to be so distant from me. What had I done wrong? Days passed, and life became a cold routine. Michael remained distant, and he was never around when I needed him. He always left before I woke up. One night, I decided to talk to him. Well, sort of. I had promised my friends a girls' night out before the wedding, but never made it happen. I wanted to make it up to them, so I decided to tell Michael I was going out. I'm going out with my friends tonight, I announced, following him upstairs. He stopped and turned, his gaze piercing. I thought I made myself clear. Don't talk to me. I just wanted to let you know. Do I look like I care? His words stung. If you want to spend the night out, go ahead, but don't talk to me. I stood there, fighting back tears, unwilling to show him how much his words hurt. I nodded quietly. I'll take that as a yes, I whispered. I left the house and met up with my friends at a club. We laughed, danced, and for a few hours I pretended everything was fine. But when night fell and I returned home, reality hit me hard. The house was dark and Michael wasn't waiting for me. As the days went by, I tried to adjust to his rules. I continued living my life, managing my work, and pretending to be okay, but inside I was breaking. When my husband wouldn't even look at me, I realized I couldn't pretend anymore that everything was fine. One evening, while exploring the house, I stumbled upon a hidden walk-in closet filled with expensive clothes, shoes, and handbags, but they weren't mine, so whose were they? Michael had his reasons, or so I believed. I didn't dare ask him, knowing it would mean breaking his 3rd condition. Despite everything, I couldn't stop caring about him. I hoped that, one day, he would soften and let me in. So the following night, I broke the 2nd rule and gently reached out to touch him. He didn't move or react. For a moment, I thought, maybe this could be the beginning of something. But when his cold blue eyes finally opened and met mine, I realized I was wrong.